Hey, it's travelgigolo, and this is a review of Zvakanaka campsite just outside Makado in Limpopo. To get to Zvakanaka, it's a straight shot north on the N1 from Joburg, Pretoria, Polokwane, until you are past Makado. That's all tarred road until you get off the highway, and it's a short amount of dirt road. So how to get here? All tar road, N1 highway, most of the way, very good condition generally, past Makado, and then there's a short dirt road from the highway to the farm itself. And that's a good dirt road. You don't need any special type of vehicle to get here. You can tow a trailer here as well. On the site itself, the roads are fairly good. Obviously, they're unpaved roads, a little bit of undulation, a little bit of bumps, but you don't need any special vehicle to get here. Just a sensible amount of clearance, really. So it turns a little bit tight on the road within the farm to get to the campsite. Nothing major. I think you can still easily pull a normal caravan or trailer to the campsites. I don't think you can come here with the Golf GTI, don't try that. But like I say, sensible amount of clearance with almost any kind of vehicle. There is electricity and lighting and plugs and sockets so that you can connect a kettle, for example. We're here with our fridge that's in the 4x4, and so we can connect up the fridge as well. So there is electricity at all the campsites. There's a kettle at every site. Sometimes it's an electric kettle. At our campsite, we have a stovetop kettle, so a whistling type kettle that you put on the gas flame. There's water, potable water, borehole water. So the water is drinkable on the campsites. You don't have to bring water with you. If you prefer to, of course you should, but there is potable water on these campsites. Now, speaking of water, there is a wash basin where you can get your water as well. There's a hose on the campsite, which is nice for putting out your fire at night. Take note, there's quite high grass here, so in the dry season there will be a fire hazard, and of course, as is normal in this type of climate, in the dry season things get quite dry, so please always put your fire off even if it's not the dry season, and there is a hose for that purpose. Ablutions are a little bit different from campsite to campsite, so some have a dedicated built set of shower, toilet, basin structure right next to the campsite. In our case, we have sort of shared showers and toilets, although it is actually exclusive because there's 2 showers and 4 toilets, and they are split amongst the 2 campsites that are relatively adjacent to each other. So it depends on which campsite you're in, but more than adequate ablution facilities. In those ablutions, you will find hot water from a gas-fired geyser. You will find cold water, of course, shower, basin, toilet, all the basic things that you would expect, very nicely set up. And the ones with the private shower facilities are particularly nice. Those are a little bit newer and also really nice. I think they've done a great job of the ablution facilities. It's not just pretty, it's very functional as well. Little platform so you're off the ground when you go into the shower. So it's very nicely set up. There's a fire pit and a separate braai area, so you can do your fire pit thing, chill around the fire, and you can also braai with a built-up structure. And in that structure there is also wood that is provided, and you can get more wood. There is a little enclosure with wood where you can go and collect wood. Of course, you've got to pay for it. You get an initial set of wood which comes with your campsite, which is free or included in the price rather, and if you need more, then you go up to the little shack and you get some wood for yourself. The braai place has a little stand with a grid for you to braai your meat on, or whatever it is that you're braaiing. The fire pit is a concrete fire pit surrounded by rocks, so it doesn't have braai facilities. So if you're going to braai on the braai facility that's provided for that purpose. We of course always travel with our trusty little go anywhere braai, so we tend to sit by the fire pit and braai there. At this campsite you have the option of braaiing in the braai stand and chilling at the fire pit. There's a nice shelter with a roof and a concrete floor, nicely floated. Very nice shelter actually. It's a pleasant place to be. It was raining a bit this morning, so we had a nice place to sit and watch the rain, which is cool. We love being outdoors even if it's raining. So the shelter is really cool. Now within the shelter, there is a wash basin. There is a built table or place to put your stuff on. Like I said earlier, there are plugs as well for electricity. There's lighting also. There's a gas stove, which is very convenient for boiling water. And if you want to cook as well, we typically braai rather than cook, but for breakfast, like for eggs and stuff, that gas stove is very handy. Great shade on all the campsites, nice grass as well, and really lovely views of the Soutpansberg Mountains. So it's a very nice place to camp from the perspective of just kind of sitting and enjoying the vista. Campsites are well demarcated and there's good separation between the campsites. So they're typically, I'd say, about 40 or 50 meters from each other, and there's bush in between, so you can't see your neighbors, and they're far enough that you can't really hear them. So there's good privacy on the campsites as well, and I like that. I like that aspect about how these campsites are set up. There's also a washing machine here for clothes, so you can go and wash your clothes, and there's a facility to hang your clothes to dry as well. So you can stay here for an extended amount of time for a couple of reasons, not just because of the washing machine and the clothes dryer, but there's also internet facilities. There's a little bar called Bullets Bar that has a number of other facilities as well, so you can get ice there, for example. You can sit there and do a little bit of work because they've got some work surfaces and some tables and chairs and so on, so you can set up a laptop and that sort of thing. So it's very well set up for that if you're going to come stay here for an extended amount of time. What can you buy here? You can buy wood. That's it. You've got to bring everything else with you. We're very close to the town of Makado, so if you haven't got everything that you need, it's a relatively short drive to the town. It's a significant town. I think you would get almost anything that you could reasonably want when you're out camping here. How to book, details in the description below. You can email or you can phone in. It's quite easy to get a hold of the owners and they're very responsive, so very easy to book. I recommend email. I think that's just a little bit easier and good for records and all that sort of stuff, but you can do it by cell phone as well. There aren't really gate times, but this is a private establishment, so you've got to be kind of reasonable with your time that you're going to arrive and leave, but make arrangements with the owners of the property before, and they will supply you the relevant details to get onto the site. So it is relatively flexible in terms of gate times getting in and out. Nearest town, Makado. Nearest city, Polokwane. Because we're not far from Makado, there's good reception here, so there is cell phone signal and data as well, so you can stay connected if you really want to. And as I mentioned, there's also Wi-Fi. So there's a Wi-Fi area where you can go and connect to the Wi-Fi if you want better connectivity. We're also quite close to the town of Musina and Beitbridge Border Post. So if you're driving through the Beitbridge Border Post, this is a really great stopover. You can stay over here for the night, get up nice and early and get to the border early in the morning as well. So it's a very good location as a stopover going to the border post. It's also a great location to come spend a few days, and we're here for a few days, and we've also used this a couple of times as a stopover going to the border post. So nice location from both of those points of view. This is a great place if you like to go walking about. There are some nice trails up into the mountains and some great views from the mountains down. It's been raining while we're here, so we haven't gone all the way up to the top of the mountain, but if you want to get in some exercise, if you want to do a nice walk, it's probably about a 2-hour walk to the top of each one of those peaks. So it's a really nice bit of exercise, and it's great vistas. It's great to be out there in the bush as well. In addition to that, there is a small splash pool on the site. There are also shorter walking trails within the site as well. So it's a good place if you want to be active. It's a good place if you're kids as well, because there's quite a few places that they can kind of run up and down and so on, and I think it's very safe. And if you like birding, it's a great birding area, lots of birds, lots of bird sounds as well. So quite a few activities that you can do on the site, and I think quite good if you're the kind of person that likes to be active. If you don't like to be active, then you can sit here and you can watch the mountain. Lots of stuff to do activity-wise for anybody who wants to come here, I think for a weekend or for a few days or for whatever type of stay you're intending to have. If you get to the north, thin parts of the Kruger National Park. It can be a bit of a drive depending where you come from. It's also a great stopover for that. Animals. There's not a lot of wildlife on the property. We have heard baboons. We've never seen them, and we've been here many times. We've never had baboons come into the campsite. That doesn't mean that you should become complacent. Know that they're here and there's the possibility of them coming to conduct raids. And if you come in the winter, it can get very chilly here because we're between a set of mountains, so the sun can come up a little bit late over the mountain on the one side, go down quite early over the mountain on the other side. So in the winter it does get quite chilly, so not snow chilly, of course. We're in Limpopo, we're north of the Tropic of Capricorn, but it can be surprisingly chilly because of the elevation and because of the mountains as well that shade out the sun for a fair amount of the day in the winter. So the first time we did a review of Zvakanaka campsite, we could hear a bit of road noise from the N1. This time there's been a consistent easterly wind. The N1 is to the west of us and the road's been hardly audible. So I actually haven't really noticed that it's there. So I guess, it depends on when you're here. You may hear a bit of road noise if you're here when the wind is coming from the other direction, but there's a lot of other sounds. There's great bird sounds and stuff, so I haven't noticed it, and I don't think it is intrusive at all. So what type of camp is this for? Basically anyone. You don't need to bring anything special here. Almost you can just bring your tent because everything's pretty much here. Of course you need like utensils and stuff and your meat and your food and so on, but almost anyone can camp here. There's electricity, there's potable water, there's activities, there's shelter. It's a very, very nice campsite. I think anybody could camp here and camp here for a fair amount of time and really enjoy it. This would be especially a good spot for birders. I think it's also great if you've got kids because you're in an area where they can run around and do stuff and ride their bikes on the road and that sort of stuff. And you can go walking in the mountains as well. It's a really nice campsite from that point of view, not just activities wise, but that you can bring children here and I think they would be very safe and you wouldn't have to be concerned about them and they can go doing stuff and seeing stuff and whatever kids do. So very nice campsite from that point of view. I think anybody pretty much can camp here. One of the things that I really like about Zvakanaka's site is they've put quite a lot of effort into removing or chopping down the alien invasive trees. There's quite a bit of wattle and you can see the impact that they've had over time ring barking those, and those are dying off. And also it's a good source of wood, so you get some nice wattle wood as well for your fire or for your braai. So I really like that. I think they've done a great job of that. So when you do a walk on the hiking trails, you will see wattles that have been ring barked. There's a good purpose for that or a good reason for that, and that is because those are invasive species and we should try to remove those from our endemic forests to maintain the natural biodiversity that should be here. Quick recap. What is here? Electricity, lighting, good shelter, potable water, gas stove, wash basin, toilets, showers, washing machine, place to dry your clothes, wood, fireplace, braai place, stuff to do, walking trails, a little splash pool, internet on Wi-Fi or on your cell because there is cell phone signal, very good both for calls and for data, lots of space, good privacy, good shade, grass. What's not here? I can't think of anything that's not here that I would want at a campsite. Zvakanaka is one of the first campsites that we reviewed and we've been here a few times since then, and there's been a lot of improvement as well since then. So it's really great to come back and get the opportunity to do another review. We have stayed here many times, but it's often for a very short period of time in transit to Beitbridge or to the Kruger or wherever we've been going at that particular time. So it's great to be back here, and it's been wonderfully kept and it's been improved over the years. So definitely a campsite that I recommend. It's, I think, one of the favorites on our list of favorites. So would I recommend Zvakanaka campsite? Yes, I would. If you want the vistas of the mountains, then try and get the campsites that are closer to the mountains. That's Williams and Sam's. Then you get unobstructed views of the Soutpansberg. If you like the private showers a bit more, then get the ones that are one stand behind. Either way, you've still got views of the mountains and you've still got all the activities to do here. Really great place. I 100% recommend. So I hope you found that informative. If you did, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Those of you that have subscribed, thank you for the support. Hit the bell as well, smash the bell, and you get notifications of our next reviews and of our other adventure episodes too. And until the next episode, go everywhere, see everything, have a great time.